What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy live and direct in absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do, man. I'm live and direct with my boy out the 662. Y'all already know how we do, man. What's popping and what's dropping, brother Craig, man?
Full effect out the man, not much, man. Y'all gonna excuse the background noise. I'm trying to get across the street back over here to the house because I'm coming back from the store. We got a whole bunch of topics to cover. Everybody just taking their time, Dick Dory time, driving slow and shit. Man, NBA playoffs is something else. But and let's get on top with that subject.
Okay, so what is your take on the Philadelphia Toronto series? Because first it was like Toronto is gonna stump the shit out of fucking of Philadelphia, and then yesterday, the last two games, it seems like they woke up the sleeping giants because like Jimmy Butler's been coming through, Tobias Harris been coming through. All the other guys on the Philadelphia team has pretty much played well enough, except the one game that Embiid had a bad game, but he made up for it yesterday by cutting up and then doing the windmill dunk, what I'm saying, blowing by Marc Gasol. So what is your take on the Philadelphia versus Toronto series?
Well, if Philly goes up to Toronto and takes what's his game 4, it's over.
I agree.
It's over with because it's what 2-1, right? Philly, right?
2-1 Philly.
Okay, if Philly win game 4 at Philly, it's over. You gotta look, and you really gotta look at the equation of Toronto, because as Skip Bayless like to refer him, that guy that wears number 2 for Toronto, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi been basically pulling, but Kawhi and Danny Green been basically pulling all the fucking weight. While people like you said, like people like Marc Gasol and like a guy who I'm finna talk about in a minute, Kyle Lowry, wants to take a fucking back seat. And for these past 3 games, Kyle Lowry has been playing like just like absolute shit. And the quote Chris Broussard, he said this: the way Kyle Lowry be playing, it's just like he fails. He delivers in the regular season, but he fails to deliver. He fails to deliver in the postseason. And he's also, and Kyle Lowry alone is giving Kawhi Leonard a reason to tell Toronto, I'll holler at y'all. So yeah. Kyle Lowry is going to have to step up. Nick Nurse, the coach of Toronto, basically called out Kyle Lowry and Marc Gasol. If you listen to his press conference, he said, we got to have other people stepping up beside our main contributor. Mm-hmm. So when Nick Nurse called you out, a first-year coach called you out, and he's pissed off about how you played. Yes. But Kyle Lowry, 2 for 10, Jimmy, for 7 points. He's gotten fat and he's lazy. He really. I'd rather for Toronto to get rid of Kyle Lowry than to let Kawhi go. I agree. Because if Kawhi leaves, and if Kyle tries to do it by himself, getting in the playoffs, they ain't gonna make it. Nick Nurse would be fired by year 3.
I agree.
I get rid of Kyle Lowry is really the problem for Toronto. Every year in the playoffs, he fails to deliver. Marc Gasol, hey, maybe there's a reason why the Grizzlies got rid of his ass. It seems he goes soft in clutch periods. So, but really, I still pick Toronto to win. But Kyle Lowry, Marc Gasol, even of all people, Serge Ibaka, need to step it up. Now you got Kawhi, Danny Green, and the other dude. Now that other dude, the one from Congo, him and Joel Embiid, friends and stuff. They now he's stepping up to the plate and he's good. Okay, he's good. But but them others, Kyle Lowry, Ibaka, and Gasol, they need to step it up, though. Because if I was Nick Nurse, I'd tell them to their face. I said, look, I'm tired of complacency on my team. So either you step up or you step out. And that's how real I'll be.
Yeah,
just let them know.
Well, with these series, and this is one of those series where I'm not even going to predict. I'm not even going to predict the Rocket series, even though it's looking like it's going Golden State's way. But we'll get on that later. But this is one of the reasons why I did not predict any of those series, because these series are too close to call. And but like I say, if Philadelphia fucks around and win Game 3, Game 4, excuse me, it's over for Toronto. I don't see no way Toronto, shape or form with Toronto, even if they win a game up in Toronto again in Game 5, they're going to go back to Philadelphia and get blown out because it's too much momentum swinging in the way of Philadelphia. But again, I'm going to stick to what I'm saying. No, these series in particular is too close to call. Just like this one series that's particularly too close to call for me is Denver and Portland. What is your take on that series? Far and so good.
Well, you answered the question. It's too close to call. Because that I think that's gonna go full. I say Denver in 6, but way Portland kind of been stepping up, and Enes Kanter been playing some ball without their best center, man. It is gonna go 7. But I'm gonna let you know now, Nikola Jokic gonna get his. He gonna get his triple dubs, dog. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Nikola Jokic is the best passing stretch center that I have ever seen. He is the best. He is the best. Yeah. The dude put himself on the map last year when he had a triple double in the first half and was 2 blocks away from getting a quadruple double. But no, everybody was worried about LeBron. So they was worrying about LeBron that night, and I was so pissed off. I had Twitter agreeing with me. I said, man, y'all worried about what LeBron doing. I said, what about that dude? What about that cat up there in Denver that had a triple double in the first half? That was more monumental. In the first half. So if they have, and really, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think there's an answer to stop Nikola Jokic. The only way you got to beat Denver is let Denver beat themselves. So that's going to be a hard series to call. And
yeah, that's one of these hard series that are just too close to call. Just like Boston and Denver series. It's closer than what people realize.
Boston and Milwaukee.
Boston and Milwaukee, excuse me. Boston and Milwaukee is closer than what people realize it, because one of those series to where, on paper, Milwaukee should throttle Boston. But again, don't count out Big Bad Brad. Big Bad Brad. I'm telling y'all right now, Milwaukee may win this series, but this ain't gonna be no easy win like y'all think it's gonna be.
This ain't gonna be no cupcake series or walk in the park.
Exactly. And one thing I can respect about my boy 78 Sports, who's I'm a big fan of. Shout out to his Patreon. Everybody go subscribe to his Patreon. But he's one of the few Milwaukee fans that's really being realistic. He's saying Milwaukee in 6, but he's not underestimating what I can respect about him. He's not underestimating Boston, the Boston factor. But it's a lot of guys who just jumped on the Milwaukee bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Because 78 is the Milwaukee dude. You know what I'm saying? So I get why he would go for the Bucks. That's his Bucks. They ain't won a championship since Jabbar and Oscar Robinson. But a lot of bandwagon fans, particularly Giannis fans, and no disrespect to Giannis, he's probably the MVP this year. But the realization of it is you're going up against Big Bad Brad. Don't count Big Bad Brad out. Milwaukee might win it. I'm just gonna be honest with you, but don't count Big Bad Brad. And you know what I'm saying? Because when Boston, goes to the NBA Finals or go to the conference finals, I'm gonna be like, hell, I told you. And I'm not rooting for either one. This is too close of a series to call because that 5 out is a beast, and Boston's bench is a beast. They just it's something about the bench historically because they've won 16 NBA championships off a great bench. Historically speaking, you can go all the way back to the days of Bill Russell. They had at one point they had 8 guys scoring in double figures. Back in the 60s, which is a big reason why they won a lot of those championships. You know what I'm saying? So, what's your take on the Milwaukee versus Boston series?
It's a damn good series, and anything can happen. But Giannis, he needs to slow his play down a little bit. I mean, he's scoring the points, but here's something interesting. Giannis in 3-pointers is 5 of 9 on 3-pointers in 2 games so far. He has hit 45% of his threes, but his total field goals is 14 for 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. So, yeah. I mean, he that's not good. Okay, mind you, now his 3-point shooting is good. I mean, that's a good little stat. That's a good little stat. I mean, 45% from threes, but your total field goals, 14 out of 41, but 14 for 41. That's about at least like a little under 40%, a little bit under 50%. I have to say between 40, but around about between 44 to 40. About between 43 to 44%. So Giannis is going to kind of have to make better choices with his shot. Shot selection. And, and so he's going to have to calm it down. He's going to stop hot dogging. Now, game 1, I mean, he was hot dogging like a motherfucker. He was. Mm-hmm. But I agree. He's gonna have to, he's gonna have to kind of calm. He's gonna have to slow his tempo down just a little bit. Now, Boston, hey, like you say, don't count out Brad, but also don't count out Brad with his team losing. Because sometimes, man, I mean, hey, I give it to Kyrie. He doing what he can to get them guys to win, get on the winning track and whatnot. But Boston beats themselves at times.
Yeah. But, in this situation, I think this is going 7. My personal opinion, this could go 7, depending on the outcome of tonight's game and the next game on top of that. So, again, don't count out Big Bad Brad. But if Milwaukee wants to go on and get guys up out of here, they're going to need double figures from, all 6 of their double-digit scores throughout the season to win this entire series. You know what I'm saying? They could make it easy on themselves and they can make it hard on themselves. But Giannis needs to get his little mid-range game going on. You know what I'm saying? And take it from there. And then, open him, when the defense, just underestimate him, then, get into beast mode while he start taking it to the goal, man. Because if he just try to automatically bulldog his way to the goal, Big Bad Brad is gonna be like, shit, you ain't finna get in this hole. So they're gonna have to come up with some strategies, and his teammates is gonna have to continue to play the way they did.
I like night. Chris Middleton, dog. Boy, Chris Middleton, number 22 from Milwaukee. Now he handles his business.
Yeah. I mean,
Eric Bledsoe, he's another one. He hot dogs all the time too.
Yeah. If Malcolm Brogdon was in this game, I think this would be I think this could favor Milwaukee easily. But he's had an injury and he's had a quiet 50-40-90 season. He had probably the quietest 50-40-90 seasons in NBA history. But he did accomplish this year. So if he could play, I think that would help. And if he's 100%, that definitely can help those.
Well, they say he was supposed to be 100% by game 2. So I wonder what's going on.
I don't know, man, but I know according to the box score of ESPN, he's not 100% according to ESPN, from what I understand. So I don't know what's going on with this kid, man. So the Golden State Houston series, man. I feel like this, man. If Golden State wins Game 3, it's gonna pretty much be a sweep at this point. They finna pull out.
Ain't pretty much. It's over. I mean, because y'all, it's over.
But here's the thing, though. They're not losing by a wide margin. They lost by an average of 5 points in these two games. And the crazy thing about it is Houston was the better 3-point shooting team. You know, they've at least shot those guys out by at least 7 3-pointers, at least 8.5 3-pointers. But the thing is, they're losing on minute mistakes. It's a couple of more plays that they can make that could probably win the game for them. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know you see this game as pretty much an over series, but again, you're playing 2 straight games in Houston, and that's not an easy place to win in. You know, yet granted that they won the Game 7 last year in Houston, but still, this is not an easy series. This is not an easy series. You know what I'm saying? They've won by 4 the last game. They won by 6 the last game and 4 the game before. So, you know, all in all, they're only won by a total of 10 points throughout this series. So if you look at it, this seems more like a Game 7 series more than anything. You know, yes, they're up 2-0, but this is not. I mean, it's not over. But what is your take on it? You know, you feel like it's over already?
Yes.
Okay, we'll take it from there. We'll definitely take it from there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some college things. Let me interject. 24/7 Sports has just in Memphis 29 could be absolutely, because you know Penny now he done scheduled 3 SEC teams already for the annual AAC SEC Challenge. So he's got Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Georgia on for the schedule. And they're going to be playing, I think, the first weekend of January. It'd be nice if Cal Crook can just come on and man up and schedule home and home with Memphis. But 24/7 Sports said that right now he is on pace of having one of the most epic recruiting classes, and they already have the number 1 recruiting class right now this year. So he's got a lot of guys coming in. I mean, because you look at it, he's got James Wiseman, DJ Jeffries, your favorite, Malcolm Dandridge,
yeah,
Damian Ball, RJ Hampton, Precious Achiuwa. That's his name, Precious.
Yeah, are those commitments or are those projected?
These are the guys he got. These are the guys he finna land. Okay. You know, you already know he landed. Because Precious is committed 54% to Memphis, with Syracuse and Connecticut not far behind. Then he got this dude Trenton Watford, power forward. But they saying he might go to LSU. He's 73% behind LSU. Boogie Ellis. Well, Boogie Ellis, it was just announced he decommitted from Duke. So he finna go to
yeah, it's a toss-up between Memphis and another school, from what I understand. It's a toss-up.
Yeah, Lester Quiones.
Yeah, so but I like Boogie Ellis. He's probably the best point guard in the outside of Cole. Say what now? What's going on?
None. I was singing that song. I was saying Boogie Ellis.
Yeah. He's probably like the second best point guard that's coming out, other than Cole Anthony. That's finna go to yours truly, UNC, man. So yeah, I mean, if Memphis can land him, that's gonna be. Yes. I feel like they finna do the damn thing. So you know, shout out to Coach Hardaway, man, for doing the damn thing, man. And shout out to them, man. So, what is your thoughts on Joe Theismann giving the okay to wear the number 7 jersey? Because it has not been worn since Joe Theismann played for the Washington Redskins. And Joe Theismann was like, hey, he has the okay, but it's not officially retired number for the Redskins, but nobody hasn't worn it since then. So what is your take on him giving the okay to Haskins getting that
I got
number
no
7?
problem with it. He deserved it.
Oh, most definitely.
And to be honest with you, he should have been the number. He should have been the damn. We talked about it, and don't get us started again. He should have been the Giants' draft pick in that QB spot.
Yeah, most definitely. Because only a handful of guys have thrown 50 touchdowns in college football, or at least in the Division 1A, and he just got passed over, man. I mean, it ain't that many motherfuckers that need an offensive lineman, and Daniel Jones is a great big jerk. Come on, man. What is y'all thinking? I mean, but
wait a minute, with a great big jerk.
I'm talking about the draft pick. I think it's Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the Giants.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Daniel Jones. You know the song Daniel Boone is a great big jerk. Well, hell, Daniel Jones is a great big jerk. So come on.
Okay.
Man. That's my take on it. Tua, our boy Tua from Alabama. He's a favorite to be the top draft pick in this coming up draft. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah. And what I'm about to say is going to shock you.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's more of a 2 or a top 5 than a number 1. And I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
He's too injury prone.
Now that could drop his stock down, but
he's too injury prone.
He's too injury prone.
Yeah.
He's too damn injury prone, man. I mean, great player, great guy, great athlete, but too injury prone. I like my Crimson Tide now, but hey, I wouldn't want to risk my house on, or risk my fortune on Tua. But I'll tell you what won't surprise me though. I will bet you Oklahoma does not finish in the top 10, the top 50 this college football season in scoring offense.
I mean, everybody. I mean that's to be debated. I'm not even gonna.
Well, look who the quarterback.
But it depends on your. But also, you also got to put in account though. It depends on your relationship with the coaches and quarterback as well. You know what I'm saying? And then he did put up good numbers at Alabama, contrary to Tua taking his position too.
Yeah.
Yes, he wasn't the best quarterback in the world. He wasn't the best quarterback Alabama has had, but he did put up great numbers out there while he was out there. So, that could be debated. That could be debated. So it is what it is.
Yeah. But ESPN with they pegging and stuff and shit. I mean, I don't see Tua, wishful thinking for Tua to be an early draft pick, a potential number 1, but injury prone. Sometimes he makes bad decisions at times too. Okay, so let's not forget that. But yeah. But I was about to say this. Speaking of quarterbacks, do you feel Don McNabb had to offer an apology to the Philadelphia fans for what he said about Carson Wentz?
Fuck no, because it was on point. Dude
even Stephen A. and Jimmy, I know you don't like this dude, but for reasons known. Even Stephen A. Smith said the same thing.
Yeah,
Stephen A. Smith said, hell no, he shouldn't apologize. He said, because he was just telling the Philly fans the whole cold, hard damn truth. He said, and I texted him. He said, Donovan, I love you. He said, but don't you ever apologize to the Philly fans for telling the truth, because what you said was the truth.
Yeah,
because Carson, he told the truth. Shit. So what, Philly fans feel stupid about letting Nick Foles go if somehow Nick Foles revived the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if Nick Foles do that,
that they'll have egg in their face if he does that, and especially with how tough the AFC South is, because the AFC South is still anybody's division. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the Titans. They're a tough team. They finished with a winning record. You had the Colts. They got to the
Colts got shit. The Colts got Spencer Ware from Kansas City.
Yeah, and my old coworker, or my old boss, Billy Wilkins, his son plays for the Colts as well, and that I co-hosted with on the show, her son was drafted at linebacker for the Colts as well. So yeah, there's connection there for the Indianapolis Colts there. But you got the Texans, the Colts. I mean, hell, even the Jaguars ain't a team to be counted out. So that AFC South, that AFC South is heating up, man. It's tougher than what people realize. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So rumor is that the LA Lakers might have their coach, because they're definitely it looks like, according to sources, they're proceeding with Tyronn Lue. According to ESPN, they are proceeding in the coming days and have no plans to introduce any other head coaching candidate other than Tyronn Lue. So he's been, in terms of X's and O's, he had a strong relationship with LeBron James. He has impressed the team in terms of his basketball mind. Other top candidates, Monty Williams, of course, he already went to the Suns, but it's no particular timetables whether or not if they're going to they're for sure making this decision. But we do know they're looking at proceeding and possibly hiring him as the head coach. What is your take on Tyronn Ice JJ Fish Lue possibly becoming the head coach of the LA Lakers?
I think that'll be that. He's been the right guy for the right job all along. Because, true enough, he's a LeBron guy, but he told LeBron, he said, "Hey, whatever you do, I hold you accountable." And he will make LeBron. He will hold LeBron accountable. And he said it one time. He told LeBron the year they won the championship. He said, "Hey, you're not above beyond all the players on this team. If you make a mistake, I'm going to hold you accountable." Oh, see that and LeBron need a coach like that.
Oh yeah.
So
he needs somebody to every superstar needs a coach to get on their ass. And that's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Here's what it is. I mean, I don't know if LeBron will deliver a championship in the West. You know what I'm saying? Looking at this year, how just this year had progressed. But hey, man, they're able to mess around and get Tyronn Lue, good for the Lakers. I think they're definitely at least a first round team at best, because I think they're have to make a few more transitions before they actually become a top competitor in the West. So we'll definitely see about that, what's going to happen with that in particular. So it is what it is. Shout out to former Harding Academy basketball head coach Kevin Speedy Stark, who is actually becoming the athletic director for the famous Brentwood Academy program. Now, Brentwood Academy is already connected to Hubie Smith, who was a longtime head coach, as well as a player for Harding Academy as well. And seems like Speedy Stark's got it made, man, because the football team has won a state title this past season. The girls basketball team was runner-up. The boys basketball team is runner-up. The baseball team is always competing. The track and field team has won multiple state titles in the last 7 years and stuff like that. So, I mean, congratulations to Speedy Starks. Of course, he has won 3 state titles at Harding Academy. He said he was waiting on an opportunity. He was going to sit at Harding until he gets the opportunity. And, hey, he got a damn good job as the athletic director at Brentwood Academy, who has the third most state titles in football, the most in track and field and the second most in basketball behind East High School. But he won't officially become the athletic director until July 1st, which is the previous athletic director. He's going to retire after so many odd years at Brentwood Academy. So what is your take on our boy Kevin Speedy Starks? You know, and matter of fact, he's also the guy from Harding Academy that made that famous 31-point comeback a couple of years ago to lead them to the state championship game. But what is your take on him leaving Harding Academy for Brentwood?
Oh, I think that's the cool's cool, man. That's the cool's cool. And let's not also forget to mention Christian Brothers basketball coach resigned so he could pursue other coaching opportunities elsewhere. So yeah, he was Christian Brothers' longest coach. I forgot his name, but shout out to him. But hey, the dude you said, what's his name?
Kevin Speedy Starks. That's what we call him.
Speedy Starks. Hey, that's the cool's cool. Him going to Brentwood. I mean, he'll probably turn their program around. And I found, and remember the subject that fan presented to us about high schools needing to upgrade their facilities for like the footballs and stuff like that.
Right.
I found out from a coworker of mine that Briarcrest has a fucking sports complex.
Yes, they do.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And it's actually up to par. And dude said it's almost up to par, like what you see with what these college universities have. So what the fuck? What everybody else waiting on?
Yeah, but Brentwood, Briarcrest, you know, they got rich kids going to, because you either have to be a damn good athlete to go to Briarcrest, to where they're going to pay for your schooling, or you have to be extremely rich, or you got to take out a home equity loan just to take your kids to Briarcrest. So yes, that's not a surprise, because I remember when they was at Towering Oaks, which was down the street from Oak Haven High School, man, their football field, which I'm surprised with the old Towering Oaks facility, Sheffield and Wooddale hasn't came to them, because they still own property there. Surprised nobody came to them and fixed that little facility up, because it's still some good, and did do the damn thing with Towering Oaks. But now they're out there in East Tennessee, and yes, their football facility as well as their basketball facility is definitely up to par. And Briarcrest, you know, they actually won the state title this year and beat this Brentwood Academy team, which is coached again by Hubie Smith, former Bartlett head coach as well, man. So, but yeah, they do need to upgrade some of these schools and these facilities and shit like that for UCS, man. Christian Brothers don't have that problem either. Let's not forget too. Christian Brothers.
Yeah, I mentioned Christian Brothers don't have a problem because they train at the school at the university.
Yeah, they train at the university. Let's not forget Germantown. Germantown has a great facility as well. You know what I'm saying? So they need to do better. SES need to do a better job of upgrading these facilities and, you know, just getting their shit together, man. So we can have some real respectable football and be able to compete with these other teams like in Nashville and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Go ahead.
I mean, crunch year, Jimmy, because long day of work today. But I mean, prestigious schools like East. I mean, by right, all that money East have, and they living over there in East Memphis, in a nice little part of East Memphis, until you get behind the school. They should have. They've been having all that money accumulated through the years. They should have like some better facilities for these guys. You know. Yeah. And Hamilton, as prestigious as they are.
Right.
Yeah. Come on now.
I agree, man. 1,000% agreed with that, man. So, but yeah, in other news too, man. Our boy Bushwick Bill has been from the Ghetto Boys, man, the little short dwarf guy. He's been diagnosed with cancer. Now, according to Willie D said he's known
little
about
person.
This for the little guy.
The correct known name is Little Person.
Okay, but Bushwick Bill, he's been diagnosed with cancer. For a person of his stature, he's lived longer than 97% of the people that that's diagnosed with this that is his size, because most people his stature usually die by 45 years old. He's like 51, 52 years old. And Willie D said he's been about this particular problem for almost a year, I'm assuming. But he said he didn't want to invade his privacy. But, the good thing about Bushwick Bill, regardless of when he perished, because all of us got to die. But in his situation, he's probably going to die sooner than most people. And I'm not trying to, let the guy, predict the guy died sooner than that. But it is what it is. We got to take into consideration he's a dwarf, or as you say, the little guy, and he's lived past what most guys don't live that long when they're that short. When you're that short, you're gonna have all types of problems. Just like when you're like past 8 feet tall, you start developing all types of health problems and shit like that. So if you live past 45, 50 years old at those statures, then you're doing the damn thing. But what he said in the interview, he said that I got wheels for my family, which is a great thing because, Jay Prince, you know what I'm saying? They didn't paid a lot up front. That's the crazy but Jay Prince had it set up to where those guys got paid on the back end and not the front end, because when he first started Rap-A-Lot Records, and this is by Jay Prince's account, he was, he took the dope money that he got from the streets, and he took a lot of risks trying to put them on tour and everything. And they didn't get paid up front. And, it wasn't a lot of happy customers, including Willie D. And, Jay Prince had to G-check some people a few times. You know what I'm saying? The late DJ Ready Red, who passed away from us last year, he was upset about that situation. But what ended up happening was, once those guys end up fulfilling the contract, those guys got their money then. You know what I'm saying? Because Rap-A-Lot was a new record label, but he definitely Bushwick Bill is definitely taken care of. Willie D is definitely taken care of. Scarface.
Ready Red was with the Ghetto Boys, right?
Yeah, he was the DJ / producer with the Ghetto Boys, but he passed away last year. Rest in peace to his family. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, both Bushwick Bill and Ready Red is from the New York area. A lot of people don't know that. Bushwick Bill was born in Jamaica, grew up in I want to say Brooklyn, and then came down to Houston. He came down to Houston, but a lot of Houston claims him, but he's a New York guy. But I'm just glad he was able to live to be able to take care of his family. Actually spoken out. You can actually see that on YouTube and stuff like that. But what is your thoughts on Bushwick Bill being diagnosed with cancer and even coming out and talking about his cancer diagnosis?
Man, more props to him. You got to respect Willie D too, what he said as well. He didn't want to invade his privacy and stuff like that. Cancer is really not nothing to play with, man. Because he's trying to beat the shit, and maybe Bill BB didn't catch it in the earlier stages, but he seemed like he's fighting it. From what I've seen, look like he's fighting it. And I'm gonna tell you something. Bill ain't finna go down with no fight, man. But thoughts and prayers go out to him, man. And like I said, the priority is, long as he has his family taken care of, that's all that matters. With the wheels and everything. Because I know when I last saw him on Unsung, he had a 13-year-old son that was rapping and going to school, and said that, yeah, he's smart. And Bill told me, he said, I told him, he said, man, just make this rapping thing as your hobby. He said, you smart. You made, and hell, probably right by now, his son probably out of high school heading into college. I think he got 3 other children elsewhere. But like I said, cancer's nothing to play with, and everybody's been trying to find a cure and stuff for it. I take for somebody who had a family member that passed away 2 years ago from the real advanced stages of liver cancer. He has a birthday coming up next Tuesday. It's my late father, Craig L. Smith Sr. So, hey, wish him the best. He can beat this, man. He can beat it as long as he doesn't give up. And, if he does relapse on a lot of shit, I mean, he can do it.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And again, our prayers and thoughts go out to him, man. If he happens to live to his birthday, he'll be 53 this year. So again, for him to suffer from dwarfism as well as pancreatic cancer, that's something to be respected, man. And I know he's not gonna go out without a fight, man. And our thoughts and prayers go out to Bushwick Bill and the Shaw family. So it is what it is when it comes to that. We lost a legend in our boy John Singleton. This Monday, I saw Ice Cube tweet. He said he lost a mentor and a brother and a friend. A lot of people tweeted the death of John Singleton, and at the time that he released Boys in the Hood, he released his Hood films when Hood films. I guess he laid out the foundation of the Hood films, as to say. But
he released Hood films was commonplace, though. I mean, cut you off, but it'll go down to me as all-time classic.
Most definitely,
and informative.
And yeah, that's the thing I was about to say. It was a very informative. Classic right there. And he basically launched Ice Cube's movie career, if you just want to be honest with you. Because let's not forget Morris Chestnut.
Look what Morris Chestnut doing now. He got a successful Monday night drama.
Morris Chestnut. Quite a few people. Nia Long's career got started in that because she had a role in that movie.
Lawrence Fishburne got elevated.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne film career was elevated. Quite a few people out there in the even the guy who got killed at the end. The guy, believe it or not, he's still getting residual income from that actual movie. He does have a YouTube page. I don't have it off the top of my head, but the guy that Ice Cube kicked in the ass and shot in the end of the movie, this dude is a millionaire. A lot of people don't know that, because he came out and said that without John Singleton, I wouldn't have got my Screen Actors Guild residuals. And there's a lot of actors out there, especially black actors, that's not getting residuals from the Screen Actor Guild, but he gets a paycheck, because he started his own business. He's a millionaire. So, John Singleton changed so many lives. And the thing about it, the dude, only had $6 million to work with to film Boys in the.
Yeah, Jimmy.
1990, when people started getting the
you had faded out a little bit, bro, because you was talking, you said film Boys in the Hood. Now I was like, what the world?
Okay. We got to think about this. $6 million is not a lot of money to film a movie. You might be able to film a documentary, but even in the 1990s, $6 million is considered a low budget movie. It's considered low budget now, and it was considered low budget then. Because at that time, you started seeing people get those 20 million, 30 million, 40 and 50 million. That's when those 40 and 50 million dollar movie budgets started happening. $100 million movie budget started happening. And he took $6 million and built a foundation with that. He also, had the movies like Poetic Justice, had them, did a remake of Shaft, did the second Fast and the Furious as well. But the foundation all started with Boys in the Hood, and he even was the producer of Hustle and Flow, as well as Black Snake Moan, which was filmed out in our city. I actually auditioned for Black Snake Moan as a stunt person, but I didn't get the part. I auditioned for like 2 days, and they didn't call me back. They said, if we don't call you back, then you don't have the particular position. But I was just there for the fun of it, for me personally, because it was an honor to even be sitting in line. I didn't give a damn because people be complaining. You had people in line that was complaining, and then you had people that just was happy to be there, because we was at the Pyramid when they did the casting call, because it was on a Monday. And this was at the time when I first got my Tuesday back at FedEx, and I was audition as a stunt person for Monday and Tuesday. But I was just happy to be there, me personally. If I got it, like, hey, good. If I don't, shit, it is what it is. And I actually had a friend that I grew up with, that I graduated with. He was actually in Hustle and Flow. He was there. He was in the movie briefly, and he was like,
I had a neighbor.
Go ahead.
It was a neighbor that lived across the street from me in South Memphis. You know, in the scene when Terrence Howard got that radio from that short looking old dude?
Yeah.
That's my neighbor. His name Rico.
Okay. Fuck with me, man.
Yeah.
That's classic. Fuck with me, man.
That's him.
Yeah.
But that's Rico in real life, man. But he a cool dude though, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And looking at Hustle and Flow, they had to make all their money in Memphis, because when I went to the first day of Black Snake Moan, and I went to Hustle and Flow, and I went to go see it twice the same day, and that's the first movie I can truly say I went to go see twice.
Yep.
Was Hustle and
Black
Flow.
Snake Moan was a trip.
Yeah, it was a trip too. But like Hustle and Flow, I went to go see that twice in the same day. And one of my homeboy's beautician, she dropped me off at the Peabody place, and I went to go see it twice at the Peabody place, and I had a ball, man. And movies was packed. So I know they made their box office revenue, their profit in Memphis, man. But John Singleton, man, will be truly missed, man. And especially,
most definitely.
And I'm gonna miss the relationship he had, the production relationship he had with Stephanie Elaine, because Stephanie Elaine, he actually started her career as a producer. She's a very powerful Black woman. That she's actually married to. Stephanie Elaine is married to Madonna's songwriting partner. I can't think of the guy's name, but it's in the early. Let me look this up. I know who it is because he actually.
And while you're looking, the Celtics are leading Milwaukee 41-32 with under 7 minutes, with 7:32 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, so this is that's definitely. Let me look her up. Stephen Bray, that's his name. Stephen Bray, that's a Black guy. Because Madonna tried to file a lawsuit against Stephen Bray, and they threw her shit out of court because what he did was, what ended up happening was Stephen Bray had released some demo tapes of Madonna, and she tried to sue, but what ended up happening was the judge told her that he has just as much right to the demo tapes because you listed him as a songwriter. So, but yeah, Stephanie Elaine is married to that particular guy, and he's getting a lot of residuals from Madonna's catalog. Look at her early stuff. He's on her. Because that relationship ended as a partner, I think, like in 1992, when one of Prince Entourage, I think they end up suing her for unpaid royalties. I think her name was Ingrid Chavis.
Yeah,
she ended up suing for that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna miss that relationship with him and Stephanie Elaine in terms of their production careers together. And man, that's I'm gonna miss that dude a lot, man. So, what is your take on my boy John Singleton, man?
I mean, well, a lot of people here came out and said about how much they'll miss him. I mean, Morris Chestnut even gave him a nice little fitting tribute, because he said, because if it wasn't for John, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because I look at it like this. Out of everybody that was in the Boys in the Hood, okay, Cuba hasn't had that much success, all right? Not at all. But you got guys like Morris Chestnut, who got his own who is a lead character in his own series on NBC. That's an accomplishment by itself. Okay? Ice Cube. I mean, hell, I love to see Ice Cube and Morris Chestnut back on the screen together. And whatnot, but not in the Boys in the Hood, like type said, no, but they got killed off. But He'll be truly missed. I mean, he did direct some good movies. I mean, he took a chance with Boys in the Hood, and you know, Boys in the Hood was met with a lot of skepticism. But he proved his skeptics and his critics wrong, and it became a hit. It was even watched by white folks because at the time, and let me give some of these young possible young viewers a little lesson. And if people that watches Jimmy J. Smooth that have children that are about to graduate high school or whatnot that have children, I want them to listen to this. Around that time, there was a lot, Boys in the Hood covered a lot of shit that was going on, a little heavy back then, and still is, but it was real heavy back then. Mm-hmm. Not just with black on black crime, but also racism. And the dude that played the policeman in there that was fucking with Cuba Gooding Jr., he died this past week. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, police, and that it really just showed the truth of how police are. When fucking with folks because he ain't got shit else better to do, stuff like that. Police brutality, black on black crime, racism. I mean, perfect example over the monologue. The damn white teacher wanted to worry about what was going on with the young Trey and shit. Wasn't her business. But there was a lot of shit that was touched upon then back then, and then there was also a lot of shit that still goes on now. Like, look what Ricky's mama did with him. And then Doughboy, and even Doughboy was even pissed off about it. Said, this man get all the fucking person word. This motherfucker get in-house pussy and everything. And he said, and I bring home all the motherfucking money and I don't get no credit. It go to show you how way about how mothers think, how parents be thinking. So, so all that shit that you see in that movie, it still goes on today. And there's also racism. It's also police brutality. It's a whole lot of things that goes on, man. And John Singleton really made everybody woke with Boys in the Hood.
And also, out of all the movies he directed, only 2 of them were box office failures. Only 2 of them I'm talking about in terms of gross revenue. There were only 2 that ever failed, but out of all the movies he directed, only 2 of them was failures. And that says a lot about it. Woo was one of them, and what was the other movie?
Wait a minute, Woo with Tisha Campbell?
Woo with Jada. I think Tisha's in it. I haven't seen that movie personally, but it was a box office failure. Because I'm looking it up right now.
Now I know the one with Tisha Campbell and Tommy Davidson. Now that was a pretty good movie.
And surprisingly, well, it shouldn't came as a surprise, but Rosewood was a box office failure. But it became a classic. It became a classic in later years because of the significance of the history. But yeah, those were only 2 box office failures that he directed, Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's definitely a very respected brother in terms of Hollywood, and man, he's definitely going to be truly missed, man. But do you have anything else before we wrap this whole?
No, well, I did have one little fan question, but I'm just going to go ahead and quickly answer it. And this came from somebody on the Facebook by the name of PJ, and they said they happened to scroll on from my memories and said, "Hello, Craig. Hello, Jimmy." Said, "Hey, Craig." She said, "I recently was scrolling through your timeline when you posted up something on your memories, and you posted up something from last year in which you were banned from Twitter for a week. What the fuck happened?" All right, PJ. Well, since you did see it, but in case Jimmy J Smooth, the Jimmy J Smooth Network
listeners didn't hear about this, but Jimmy knows what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I was blocked for about 48 hours because I made some type of apparently a quote unquote racial insensitive comment towards one Kanye West. Because I said, and I quote, I said, Paul Mooney said it takes a lot of hard work to be a coon. And I said, well, Kanye West didn't take long doing that, or something along those lines. So I got blocked on Twitter for saying it. And like everybody speculated, it was Kanye that did report that shit. Because that's why he's a fucking slave now. It was Kanye that did report that shit. I was blocked on Twitter for 48 hours for speaking straight 100% fucking facts. And you want to know what, Jimmy? I'll do it again. I'll do it again if I see fit to do it.
Yep, I would too, goddamn it. I would too. Oh man.
So Yeezy, you can still suck my dick.
Agreed.
Make America great again. Walk around that damn hat on, you and Jim Brown. I ain't gonna never forget that image, Jimmy. Him and Jim Brown sitting in front of this fool.
I agree.
You coon?
Yeah. Again, exactly. Well, man, you ain't got nothing else, bro. If you ain't got nothing else, bro.
No.
Once again, man, this your boy, live and direct, in full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662. And y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do, man. Peace out, and y'all have a good one.
Oh, yes. And the pleasure has been all yours.